of all, happy Thursday. If this is your Friday, then woo, woo, I'm so excited. Today is our Thursday, and y'all know what I mean. Fridays are my flex day, so I'm super excited. Gonna get my hair done. Got to get that redid. But I wanted to do this video, okay, because I'm seeing women make this mistake, and I do not want you to make this mistake. So, if you are relaunching your signature program, okay, this video is going to be for you. If you are relaunching a program, I don't care if this is like your second time doing it, so you did it already once. Maybe this is your fifth time. Doesn't matter. I am seeing women make this mistake, and it is costing you a lot of money. So, before you go and you put $5,000 into ads to that next program that you are launching, please listen to this. Okay. So let's talk about relaunching your signature offer to an outdated audience. So I'm seeing women make this mistake where you think about for your relaunch, you think about the redesign, so like the visuals, right? You think and the logo and all the visual, design elements. You think about maybe even the content, right? So or the curriculum, I should say, that goes into it, right? And then also, I know y'all, if you are I have a lot of good girlfriends who like save a lot of their old content for their programs, which I am a fan of. However, that offer, your method, and you have evolved since the last time you launched that offer. I have seen this with clients who launch their offer quarterly, right? So over a 3-month period, they launched it, let's say in January, and then they launched it in Q1, and then they launched it again in Q2. So that 3-month period, you've grown, your method has grown, your process has grown, or clients who launch maybe every half. So like, let's say January and June, or January, July, or if you do annual, right? So maybe you do once a year, whatever that is for you. And I have clients who also bring back programs that they haven't launched in a couple years. So you definitely have grown since then. The biggest mistake I see women making, whether it's like, oh, I just launched this, just a couple months ago, so it hasn't been too much, right? That I have changed or grown or expanded in or whatever it is. Yes, there has been. Your audience has grown. And so here's the thing. Your outdated audience, okay, is not going to align with the next launch of your program. So if you hold on to the exact messaging that you use, every element of it, every element of the content, right? It's not going to necessarily speak to the elevated version of the client that you now want to call in, especially because of this reason. Most of my clients, when they are relaunching, they are wanting to double the rate, right? So you're wanting to increase the rate of that offer, or you are wanting to call in clients quicker or do things a little different. So, like, let's say you launch and you did like the one-on-one sales calls model, and you're like, boo boo, I don't want to sit there and have to spend all this time talking to every single person that comes into the offer, if this is your vibe, right? And so you're like, I want to do more one to many experiences. I want to do a webinar, a masterclass, a challenge, a boot camp. I want to be able to go live, right? Whatever that is for you, you want to be able to put out content. You don't want to have to sit and talk to every single person, who comes in. And so if you're wanting to elevate in that way, boo boo, you're going to have to hone in even more clear on your messaging. And so when you have a signature offer that you are relaunching, right, back out, you want to take a look at your audience, and you want to, understand, where have I outgrown this audience, right? And where has that audience particularly maybe outgrown my offer? And if you are not making updates in your messaging and in your content, and you're thinking that you're just going to take the old version and come and without any tweaks or any changes use it, you're making a mistake. And so what I see people do is they go spend thousands of dollars. So you're putting a $4,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 plus budget for paid advertising, which is amazing and great, because what we know is that your program has sold. We know that your program has impacted your clients. We know that it's gotten results. We know that it's amazing. We know you're incredible at what you do. That's not the question, right? But the thing that we want to do is we want to take a look at where are some elements that we can refine, so that when we go put it back out, whether it's going to be organic and or paid traffic, we are elevating who we're talking to, right? We are elevating the caliber of client that we're calling in, because again, you are wanting to charge more. Most of my clients aren't saying, here, I want to relaunch the signature program at the same exact price. Now, if you are probably at, like, let's say you've had this offer for 4 or 5 years, right? And or you have, had the program for a while, or you have had a lot of clients in it or something like that, you might be or I meant to say if you've had it for a super long time, then you might be in a space where you're like, okay, I feel pretty stable. But this is something I should say too. I forgot to mention this to y'all. So it depends on where you're at in business too. So if I'm talking to one of my clients who has hit multiple six figures or seven figures, right, and their signature offer has been a core element of them doing that, the messaging refinements that we're going to make for their offer are going to be different, because they've launched it 5 times, they've launched it 10 times, they've had that program for X number of years. And so, one, we want to work on, boo boo, where might you be bored in your offer? And we might need to make some changes. Okay. So, that is the other thing, is like making sure the offer is still in alignment with you and that you feel excited. Because I've had a lot of clients who are at that multiple six figure, seven figure space where they're like, oh my goodness, I actually don't want to launch this again because I'm bored, I'm tired, whatever that might look like. So, the things that we are going to refine is going to be a little different. When you are in a space of, like, let's say, you're at high 5 figures, low, maybe even mid 6 figures. And so maybe you've launched this like 2 times, 1 or 2 times, or maybe 3 or 4 times, right? And so you are in a space where the things that we are looking at with your offer, we are still validating some things. I feel like people think that, okay, my offer, made me X amount of money. So my offer, I made 20, 30K when I launched this the last time. I've made 50, 75, 100K when I launched this, the second time, or whatever that is. And that's beautiful. And so what you want to be able to do, I see so many women who like, okay, well, let's just go to the next, and they move so fast. And sometimes you're going to have to slow down so that you can pay attention to what really moved the needle. Because in actuality, if I'm looking at your messaging and I'm looking at content and I'm looking at the positioning of the offer, and you are driving yourself crazy. So we're going to talk about burnout a little bit. In some of these launches, y'all be completely burned out. But here's the thing. Because you don't sit and you don't pause, you don't assess, you don't do this refinement of the messaging, you are actually talking about 10. You're like, oh, I got to talk about all 10 of these things. Oh, I actually got to put out all 50 of these pieces of content. Oh, I got to do this every single day. I got to do this 5 times a day. I got to do this 10 times a day during the launch. You are burning yourself out. But in actuality, hey, love, if you actually sat down, you would notice that, okay, actually, these 3 key elements are all I need to talk about, right? When we go super, super deep. So, one of the things that we do in Money in the Message, which if you are watching this live right now, we have a Money in the Message flash sale that is happening. It is completely insane. It is the opportunity for you to get the hands-on support that you need for refining your messaging so that you can revamp, every part of your messaging. You can get deeper clarity on who really are the premium clients, the elevated audience that you need to be talking to when you relaunch this offer, right? So that you can, elevate how you are positioning and elevate and amplify your client attraction and conversion, right? The quality of your clients, you calling in better clients. The biggest way for you to double your conversions is for you to call in better clients. Okay. So what I was saying before was, if you look at the, whatever you did last time, I did these 10 things, I talked about these 50 things, I put out these 100 pieces of content, whatever that is, you think you have to keep doing that, right? And so I've had clients who literally are like, no, I just got to do the same process over. And I say, listen, what if we literally sat down? Hey, love, what if we literally, y'all say hi too, and y'all let me know, do you have a signature? Do you have a signature offer? So this is an offer that you, a signature offer, or maybe your complimentary offer. Like it's an offer in your business model that because maybe you rotate your offers, right? So anyway, do you have one? And then, are you planning to do a relaunch? So you are relaunching a program that you, or service offer that you've had in the past. Let me know in the comments. I cannot wait to hear. So, you are going to burn yourself out because you're sitting there and like, I need to go put out all of these things. But in actuality, it's like, you know what? We actually only need to hone in on these 3 things. And the reason that we get to learn that is because inside of Money in the Message, when I'm working with my clients, I'm looking at a couple of different things. One of those is going to be who truly is like the premium core client for this offer. Okay. And not just who are they, right? You know some things about them, but I am going to help you expand deeper, because this is where, instead of you talking about 50 different elements in your messaging about that offer, we actually realize you only need to talk about these 5 things. So you wasting your entire time with these 50 things. So what that means is that in some videos, you might say one of the things. In some videos, you might say 2 of the things. And some videos, you might, out of that 50, right? So let's say we have 5 key elements that really we know every single client that comes into this program fast, immediate, ready to buy, paid in full, right? They only need to hear these things. But you run the risk of, okay, but I have 50. So then you talk about 45 of them and not the 5 that we need to be talking about in one video. So one video might have one video might have 2 of the 5 things that we need to be talking about. One video might have 0 of the 5 because you talked about all the other 45 things. What we want is, how do we make sure that all the videos have all of the things? So when we talk about this element of the algorithm, if you are doing organic marketing, how do you make sure that every single piece of messaging, every single piece of content, okay, has what it needs in it? So it absolutely 1,000,000% connects with the client it needs to connect, instead of you wasting your time not. Or when you start your videos, I can't stand when people be starting their videos and they're like, hey, I'm gonna wait for everybody to come in, which I think we're past that phase. Most people are past that phase, but I used to hate that, y'all. I've been in this game for a decade. So like I remember when Facebook, like when oh my God, I remember when Facebook Live first came out. That makes me feel very old to say that. Like I'm talking about, if y'all remember Periscope, put it in the comments if you remember Periscope. Anyway, when people start their videos and they're not actually going into what is the thing that their clients are focused on. So I'm going to give you an example. When I started this video, besides talking about me going to get my hair done and the fact that Friday is my flex day, which, listen, that actually is a positioning point technically. Okay. And here's why. My women that I really love to work with who are in a space of relaunching a program, right? Relaunching means you've already launched something before. You've done it at least 1 or 2 times before. You've been in business. You have an audience. You've made sales from that offer, right? So that's a qualifying factor, right? So you want to make sure you're pre-qualifying in your messaging. If you are completely brand new, like you are at $0, you can't well, you could relaunch 0, but we're talking about, being able to double your conversions, right? So when I'm working with clients, how do we 2 to 5x your price points? How do we 2 to 5x your conversions? We can't 2 to 5x 0. You have to have something for us to multiply, right? So when we're talking about, leveraging your messaging for multiplying your sales, you have to have something. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about relaunching. So when I said, it just so happens I mentioned this. Tomorrow's my Friday. Like, is Thursday your Friday, or like this? Are you off on Fridays or not? Like, tomorrow I'm gonna get my hair done. So when I said that, even that, right? So my clients who are in a space of relaunching, they are full time in their business. They are, 6-figure, multiple 6-figure, and even, my clients too. If you are at like a 50 to 80K a year, right, and you are maybe in the first year or 2 of your business or whatever that is, me talking about me being off on Friday, that is a part of probably your journey as an entrepreneur. Or a lot of my clients do half day Friday, or they do flex Friday like I do, or they're completely off, whatever that is. So even just those, one wasn't intentional, it was just me sharing, but that is a qualifier, right? And then the second one is a true qualifier of like, listen, this whole topic about you relaunching your offer, if you have never, ever, ever, ever launched an offer, then the things that I'm sharing with you in this video won't make sense for you, right? And so you need to have some time where you sit down and you do like a messaging intensive where you get clear on, well, who even is my initial audience, and what's my initial message, and what's my initial offer, so that I can do my initial launch. That's your question. We are talking about, and if you need help with that, I have a course. I have a masterclass, where I talk about the fact, how I made my first $10,000 by month 3 in my business when I was first starting coaching and signing your first batch of clients and all that good stuff. So you can totally get that masterclass in the YouTube. It is in the description. You can also DM me. And if you want an intensive, we can certainly do a one-time intensive where we like go through that, because I don't need to spend months and months and months with you on that. Like, it's easy, right? And so we can make that plan, right? So now when we talk about though refining and revamping and refreshing your messaging so that you can have a more successful relaunch. So this reminds me of a couple of clients that I've worked with, right? Who've come in, who have had a program. They wanted to triple their rates. All right. So double or triple their rates. And one of the clients I'm thinking about, we were able to not only get her to triple her rate, but also help her understand what were the most powerful parts of the offer. She had launched it 3 other times. There were things that she was not talking about. There were things that she didn't see. She was so close to the offer. So where are you so close that you're actually forgetting to talk about certain elements of your program? And you've done it so many times. It's your genius that it becomes so easy that you feel like, okay, I think I've already talked about that. And I've had dozens of clients who that happens to. And it's like, oh my goodness, I actually never said the thing. And I was like, yeah, I don't ever remember you communicating that. Do you feel like you have that on the sales page? Do you feel like you have that in the sales materials? Do you feel like you mentioned that in the workshop, in the challenge, in the webinar, in the pitch, et cetera, et cetera? Also looking at your testimonials. This is my pet peeve. I talk about this all the time. The way that you are talking about your clients, their experience, their testimonial. I hate how the industry uses testimonials. Oh my goodness. So we do a whole testimonials to transactions process inside of money in the message, because y'all, you need to be leveraging your testimonials to position the offer and the experience to your client. Me hearing, yes, this was great, awesome, I recommend it to people. Okay, I don't really know why. And your clients don't necessarily have the messaging that they need, because they're not thinking about it from the fact that I need to use this as a sales perspective. They're just sharing their experience. So you understanding, how do you get the right testimonials you need to in the first place? Okay, one, let's step back. In order to get the best testimonials, you have to have an amazing offer. You need to have the best people in your program who are the best, most qualified, that are going to get amazing experiences. That's something, that's a whole nother video, y'all. If you're getting the wrong misaligned clients into your program, and then you start second guessing your program, thinking that it was something with you, and it wasn't, right? They were not the right fit for the program. It wasn't the right time for them. But then you started having all these things about your program. So we got to get the right people into the program. How do you get the right people into the program? The best people into the program. You have the best message that you can have. And so the messaging you had in launch one versus this launch is going to be different. The messaging you had in launch two versus this launch is going to be different. There are some elements that we are definitely going to be able to hold on to and keep. And I geek out on this, but understanding, where do we need to be honing in? Where do we need to be focusing? What needs to be the core part of the message in this launch is how you have the messaging that keeps growing and expanding and making you money and over and over and over again. All right. So that is a video that I wanted to do really quick. If you watch the replay of this, y'all, listen, just because you're not live is all right. I want you to drop in the comments, do you have a signature offer and or a offer, if you have like more of a rotating business model, that you, hello love, welcome, hey Mary, let me see, we had Dr. Shauna. And but if you Shayna, if you are in a space where so yes, if you have a signature offer and or you have an offer that rotates in your business model and you're relaunching it, let us know in the comments. I want to hear how you're feeling about it. I also want to encourage you, right? We're about to go into, at the time of this recording, right, going into 2025. I am sure that a lot of your planning, your CEO planning for the year includes offers that you've already put out before. If it doesn't, that would be something that would be really smart for you to do. If you still feel in alignment with the offer, which if you think about what I was saying about clients of mine who have been at multiple six figures, who've been at seven figures, sometimes they're like, okay, Kira, I'm a little bored. We gotta switch some things. I actually had an intensive with a client who full-time in her business for couple years, and she was bored. I mean, there's no other way to say it. She was bored with her offer. And so being able to, before we stepped into any messaging, we actually went into restructuring her offer. So that's something that we didn't talk about with the refining and revamping and refreshing and relaunching. Is also restructuring. So sometimes you may be in a space where you actually need to restructure certain parts of your offer so that they feel in alignment with you. We do have a video inside of the monetizing your message and expertise playlist where we do talk about realigning your business model to your lifestyle now. So that's going to be important for you if you are in that relaunch space, because subconsciously, if you are not in a space where you are wanting to even launch that deliver that offer, then you are not going to want to relaunch it, because a part of you in your body, right, your brain is like, it would be really smart for me to relaunch this offer, but your body is like, oh god, oh god, oh god, okay, that offer, we offer this, we offer that, the price point doesn't feel right, the this, the that, it feels off, I'm not sure. And so then you find you subconsciously are not actually fully showing up for it. And or if the audience that you're targeting, right? Hello, love. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us live. So we got live in all the places, both of everybody say hello. And y'all tell me how you are feeling too. Like I said, about your like signature offers or programs or whatnot, and relaunching them. But yeah, so if you are in a space where you need to make some readjustments to your particular offer so that you feel in alignment with actually delivering it, go ahead and do that, right? There could be multiple things that you need to restructure with the offer. It could be the price point. I've had a lot of clients who are like, oh my goodness, The value in this program is insane. I'm gonna tell y'all a true story. I collaborated with a couple friends of mine, my peers, and we created an amazing, incredible program. We will be can't wait for us to launch it again. And we just wrapped up this particular cohort. We celebrated, had a graduation, and it was amazing to hear these women's testimonials and results and all the things. And I literally was private messaging the other two ladies like, price is going up. Price is going up. So you definitely, so this is an example of when you have an offer, right? And it's wrapped up and now you're going to go into relaunch of it. You're like, listen, we don't give a lot of value in this. We need to be increasing the price. How much we increase the price? By 25%, by 50%? Are we just completely like doubling it? Whatever that's going to be. So price point could be something that you need to restructure. The timing could be something you need to restructure. If the program was 3 months before and now you're like, you know what? I've had clients of mine who were like, Kiera, wow, it was amazing the 3 months. They got this type of experience, but we need to actually expand the time because I actually didn't have time to cover this. Or I felt like we rushed through that. Or I realized this actually happened to me. I can't remember what offer of mine it was, but there was an offer that I had where I realized I needed to add in implementation weeks. Right. So messaging is so personal. If you have never worked with me before, I give extremely personalized messaging support. So you thought you was only coming in and you was getting generic messaging support because that's what happens in all those other programs that you join. But when you join Money in the Message Boo Boo, when you come into Kiera Shine space, that is not what we're doing. We're doing hands-on personalized messaging inside of your offers, right? Inside of our program for your offers and for your client and your expertise and who you are as a person, right? Making sure that it connects with you. So one thing that I found was like with that, because of that level of support, clients needed an extra time in between the calls so that they could implement what we were talking about. Okay. So that might be an example of you needing to add in some additional timing, right, for your offer. So yeah, and it could be the opposite. It could be like, you know what? I don't need to sit here and offer this amount of time, right? We could literally condense it to here. Actually, fun fact. So one thing I talked about, earlier in this video was the topic, right? So this topic is about relaunching. If you are brand new in business, you're not relaunching an offer, relaunching an offer that is sold so that you can get it to have double conversions, right? That is different from like, I've never launched before. That's going to be a completely different conversation. And so one thing I stated was, if you are brand new, right, I do have a masterclass where I talk about like when how I made my first $10,000, signed my first batch of clients. I've had hundreds of people utilize that resource, go through that, support them in signing their first batch of clients, make their first, $6,000, $8,000, whatever it is. And they will do an intensive with me, right? So because I don't need to spend months with you to figure out your initial message, your initial offer for you to do your initial launch. We don't need to spend months to do that. So here, follow these steps, go ahead and do them, right? And so that is an example of, I actually realized I did not need to have a particular program I had years and years ago, where I work with you for all of this time to figure that out. You don't need all that. You like literally, y'all, when I tell you I launched my business in less than 30 days. I did. I signed my first two clients, my first sales call. I didn't make up my offers, but I kind of made them up. It was like, listen, you can work with me for 4 weeks or you can work with me for 90 minutes. Which one would you like? Like, I see women make this big fuss about starting the business. And it was like, no, you just need this, this, and this to start, right? So if you just sign your first batch of clients, you don't need to sit and spend, excuse me, y'all, months and months and months to do that. And so, and to package that offer and figure out what it is. So, I was able to kind of shift that offer so that it was like, you know what? Literally, if you spend anywhere, like spend 2 hours with me, spend 2 hours with me and watch what we can get done, right? Spend 3 to 4 hours with me. So, spend a couple hours with me and watch what we can get done. So it didn't need to be all of this amount of time. I know exactly what I'm looking for after doing this for a decade, working with over 2,000 women. You just get to this place where it's like when I was brand new, I thought I needed more time. So like, no, I need 3 months. But that was me testing my process, testing my testing and still building my signature method, but that looks different now. So for women who are brand new, I don't need to sit and spend all that time with you. If I even look at money in the message, right? For women who are in a space of like, listen, I have, I've created an offer, at least an offer that does sell. I've made some money. I've had some clients. I've been showing up. I create content, but Kira, I am ready to double my income and my impact. I'm ready to double. I'm ready to triple. I'm ready to increase, multiply what it is that I'm doing. And I know that if I could position my expertise more powerfully, if I could focus on connecting with my true most like my next level clients and how to really connect with them and talk to them, how to position my offer, right? How to sell stronger, right? Have messaging that allows me to sell stronger, how I could pre-sell, pre-qualify, and pre-position my expertise. If I did those things, I know that that would help me double to triple, right? So anywhere from 2 to 5x my revenue, my results, my reach, my confidence, my clarity, all these different things, right? My visibility. And so with us focusing on that, right? Even that, like, if you wanted to work with me one on one, it is going to be a $25,000 start set investment, right? And so, because I've spent years building my process and building my signature method, I'm able to create a program, right? Like Money in the Message, right? Where literally the first Money in the Message is from 2018. And to think about Money in the Message today versus Money in the Message now and Money in the Message in 2025, because I'm so excited for all the things that we have covered. So, it's so exciting, right? And so to see that this process, right, has expanded and evolved so much and to keep pouring that back in, right? So these are things you have to do when you are in, a mode of relaunching programs, right? Thinking about programs that you've had in the past that you are relaunching, that you're putting back out. So I wanted to just do that video because listen, I done seen some people say, oh, I got to up my budget like this and do that. What you're going to do if you take your old messaging, will you get some sales? I'm sure you probably will. I will say that we are going into a season for 2025 and beyond where like y'all are not going to be able to just bank on, well, I just use this. There are refinements that you're going to have to make, right? There are ways that you're going to have to differentiate yourself, distinguish yourself, stand out amongst the crowd. You're going to have to, right? Especially for my women, like I can't stand. I used to say this back in the day, Pop Tart coach, like with the popularity of coaching and consulting and all this, like women who just pop up and say they're a coach. The women that I work with, right, that I know, we are women who like, we take our work very seriously. We are true experts. We are not just saying that we are. We have receipts personally, professionally, in our business, in other people's business, as contract workers, as, whatever role you were in corporate, in your education, all the things, like we have experience behind our name, and we have a deep level of passion and integrity. And so being in a space where, we feel like anybody else is not honoring that. And what I mean by that is like, you can't be letting these other people pass you by. Boo boo, you are a powerhouse. We got to get rid of this underpaid powerhouse energy and syndrome that's happening. And so letting other people who are half as passionate, half as talented, half as educated as you fly you by and charge more than you, triple than you get the opportunity. This is not cool. Okay. And so with that being said, you are going to have to start to own your expertise and make sure that we are bringing that in, and that we can talk more about that inside of the, like with the 6-figure storytelling strategies and ways to elevate your brand story. That's another thing. Like you're going to need to elevate your brand story. So there's so many things to elevate for 2025 and beyond to set yourself up for the next level of where you know that you are meant to go and you are called to go and you were created to go. So we got to step into the next level message, because we can't take the old messaging with us in the relaunch. We can't take the old messaging with us in the next level of your business and your brand and where you desire and deserve to go. So if you want support on this, I want you to shoot me a DM somewhere around this video. You are going to see the link to DM me. We have a flash sale going on right now for Money in the Message, my inner circle, where I get to personally support you and work with you on exactly what we are talking about inside of this video. If you are wanting to convert quicker, if you're wanting to convert more quality, better clients, if you are wanting to amplify your sales messaging and how you're positioning your offer, if you're wanting to feel on fire with your work again, one of my favorite pieces of feedback that I got from a client years ago was, Kira, you helped me fall back in love with my business. I talked about some clients who kind of like, Kira, I'm kind of bored with my offer. I'm kind of bored with my content. I'm kind of bored with my audience. I'm kind of bored with this, right? And so being able to help women step into this deep level of next level of alignment, right? Connect deeper with their audience, connect deeper with themselves and feel on fire, feel ignited, right? Reignited with their work on a deeper level is just so amazing. And watching that flow through your message is incredible. And watching us strategically take all that power and you embodying that energy and express that in how we position your offer, elevating your positioning communication strategies, elevating how we are, amplifying your authority and, being able to position and showcase and highlight your signature method and your framework and go through your client testimonials so that you can actually make sales from them and not just like, oh, yeah, she was great, work with her. And it's like, okay, but why? Understanding all of those communication strategy elements are going to be a game changer for your next launch and beyond. All right. I cannot wait. So message me if you are interested in joining Money in the Message. It is a complete steal. It gives you the opportunity for additional work with me for free. That's included. So you can get all the details if you shoot me a DM. If you go on the page right now, you're going to see the current regular price, which is anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the payment plan. But y'all, when I tell you it's almost about half of the price. You heard that right. So this is a flash sale for Money in the Message for the end of the year. If you want to be in, if you want this type of hands-on support, personalized sales messaging support, we have our calls, our clinics. If you are on a premium level, there are one-on-one bonus one-on-one calls available for you. You also get a private client chat, a coaching chat as well, and a couple other things, a lot of other bonuses. All right. So until next time, love, shine, and success. Make sure you share this video with a biz bestie, a mastermind sister, or an accountability buddy who needs to hear it. Another chick that you know is needing to position herself as the go-to chick, the powerhouse that she is, and own her space, double her rates, connect with and convert with more high-quality clients, and all the things, right, for this year and beyond. Make sure that you share that video with her so that she can amplify her relaunch too. Y'all can do it together, boo-boo. Two best friends, y'all come in together. All right, loves, I will talk to y'all soon. Have an amazing weekend. Bye, everyone. And if you were live, if you were on the replay and you had a question, don't hesitate to drop it in the comments. I'll be coming back to check them, and I will see y'all soon. Bye, loves.